Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something, well, really quite peculiar about how our brains handle loss, especially when a big relationship ends.
Hmm.
It's that feeling, knowing it's over, absolutely knowing it, but at the same time just refusing to believe it deep down.
It really is a profound clash, isn't it? We've looked at quite a range of material for this, from philosophical takes on grief to more current cognitive science.
Yeah,
And what really comes through is this picture of an internal, well, like a civil war. You, the listener, probably recognize this. One minute you accept it's finished, the next you're, I don't know, thinking about how to accidentally bump into them.
exactly. So our aim today is to sort of unpack that conflict. We're looking at these two almost separate centers of consciousness in your brain.
Right.
They just can't seem to get on the same page, can't share information properly, or adjust to the reality of the loss at the same speed.
So we're going to call them, for clarity, the logical mind and the emotional mind.
Let's start with the logical mind. This is the part of you that's, honestly, pretty efficient.
Brutally efficient sometimes.
Yeah, when the relationship is definitively over, this part doesn't really mess around. It just steps up and lays out the facts.
Yep.
Immediately. Completely.
And it's fast. It doesn't need weeks or months to analyze. It sees the whole picture, all the difficult bits, almost instantly. It knows they've left. It remembers exactly how badly they treated you sometimes, remembers them, choosing other things over you last summer maybe.
Right, the ignored calls.
The calls, the online stuff it maybe overlooked at the time, and then boom, just total silence for ages.
So this logical part looks at all that evidence, closes the case file, basically, and gives the verdict.
Cold, hard logic.
Yeah, it's over. They weren't good for you. They didn't deserve you, actually. Don't waste another second thinking about them. It's ready to move on. Change the locks, metaphorically speaking.
But if it's that clear to one part of the brain, why doesn't the whole system just accept it and move forward? What's pushing back so hard?
Well, that brings us to the other player here, the emotional mind. Let's call it the stubborn romantic.
Okay.
This part hears everything the logical mind says, the facts, the cruelty, the silence, the leaving, but it doesn't register it as truth.
Yeah.
It's more like annoying background noise that needs to be filtered out.
It's really a masterclass in selective memory, isn't it? The sources talk about how it just quietly slips away, kind of ducks out when the logical mind presents its case.
Where does it go?
It retreats into these very specific, often highly polished, idealized memories. It doesn't replay the bad stuff. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It replays the highlight reel, the moments that cemented why you needed them.
Like those specific snapshots the emotional mind keeps playing. That evening in Corfu, maybe? Where they held you really close, looked right into your eyes, swore they'd never let you go.
Exactly. And that one memory suddenly becomes like counter evidence to months or years of neglect or problems.
Or maybe that quiet evening in Berlin, sitting across from you, and they just seemed so incredibly kind, listening so intently you felt, maybe for the first time, truly seen.
And it can even weaponize vulnerability, can't it? It goes back to that story they told you, maybe about being lonely as a kid.
Oh, right.
And it dredges up that deep, almost parental urge you felt to protect them, to comfort them, to save them in a way.
And the result of all this selective memory work is this, just absolute conviction. It doesn't matter what the reality is.
Yep.
The emotional mind just insists they will come back. Even if, logically, you're blocked on every single platform.
Right. Or they do love me, even when there's zero evidence of that now. They're not around. They're not calling.
They're still my little baby or my soulmate, even though the actual adult person vanished months ago, didn't even look back.
So this is where it really escalates beyond just disagreement. It becomes a proper internal battle. Because the emotional mind, if you give it space, starts cooking up schemes.
Oh, the schemes?
Yeah. And the sources call them frightening schemes because they genuinely horrify the logical mind. They threaten any rational progress you might be making.
Like what kind of schemes are we talking about?
Well, the desperate stuff. The emotional mind starts whispering. Why not just write a really long letter? Pour your heart out, explain everything they're missing, and hand-deliver it.
Oh, dear. Or what if you just happen to be in the lobby of their office building around lunchtime? Just casually bump into them.
Exactly. Or even worse, stuff that feels, well, beneath you. Calling their mother to plead your case.
Yeah.
Or their sister, or their best friend, trying to argue about why they've made a terrible mistake.
Or that massive multi-page email explaining in minute detail why they are fundamentally wrong and just need to see sense and come back.
Right, and the logical mind, seeing this, basically has to jump into emergency mode. damage control.
It has to. It rushes in trying to, put out these fires of desperation.
Yeah, it throws up defenses saying, look, they might have said they loved you once, but clearly they don't now. Otherwise, how could they be so cold, so silent?
And it asks the hard questions. How could you ever feel safe with someone who hurt you this much, who showed such, frankly, immaturity?
But that logical defense, it often just bounces off. Because the emotional mind isn't dealing in logic anymore. It's already deep into extreme idealization. It's rewritten the whole story.
Right. It's not remembering the actual person, flaws and all.
No, it paints the ex as this, intellectual colossus or a paragon of virtue and tenderness. Sometimes even the essence of kinky complicity. They become almost godlike.
And the poor logical mind is just struggling, trying desperately to whisper, hang on, they're just another person, a human being, a complicated, messy, imperfect one, and actually not particularly kind, given how they ended things.
But nuance is precisely what the emotional mind avoids. It doesn't do complexity. It's running on something much more primal.
Primal fidelity.
Exactly. It heard the word forever once, maybe years ago, and it took that literally. It believes forever means forever, full stop.
It functions less like a thinking adult and more like, well, the loyalty is almost heartbreakingly primitive.
The analogies used in the sources are really powerful here. It's like the fidelity of a tiny child, an infant waiting by the door, absolutely convinced mommy or daddy is coming back any second now.
Because they always have before.
Or even darker, like a hunting dog, howling alone in the woods, circling the decaying body of its owner who died long ago.
Wow.
It recognizes the connection, the bond, but it fundamentally cannot process the concept of permanent absence, death. The end.
That primal level of belief.
Yeah.
It does raise that philosophical point mentioned in the research, doesn't it?
It does. This capacity for unwavering, almost irrational faith in a return, it's noted that this is very similar to the engine that powers religious belief for many.
Interesting.
That deep human wiring that allows some people to dedicate their lives hoping for a deity's return. It mirrors the part of us that dedicates weeks, months, sometimes years of agony, hoping for an ex's return.
It's the same fundamental mechanism, believing against the evidence.
Arguably, yes. It's that core belief system overriding present reality.
So the big question is, can this internal war just go on indefinitely?
Well, no. Thankfully, there comes a point, a critical point, where the logical mind, which is ultimately the guardian of your overall well-being, realizes the whole system is at risk.
Like it sees the bigger picture. The host, the actual person, is suffering too much.
Exactly. The brain and body can't sustain that level of stress, the constant anxiety, the sheer exhaustion of fighting this internal battle day in, day out. Denial takes a huge toll.
So it stages an intervention.
Pretty much. The logical mind, probably worn out from constantly batting down the emotional mind's crazy schemes, finally sounds the alarm. Loudly.
And forces action.
Forces external action, yes, because the internal landscape is gridlocked. So it insists on things like, okay, booking that trip abroad, just change the physical scenery.
Or maybe finally making that appointment with a therapist.
Yeah.
Someone to help impose some structure on the chaos.
Right. It forces changes in the outside world because the internal world refuses to shift on its own.
Which brings us to maybe the most crucial factor in this whole recovery process. Time. The difference in processing speed.
Ah, yes. The logical mind gets it instantly. Click. Someone's gone. Someone doesn't love you anymore. The facts are registered.
But the emotional mind, that ancient, primitive core, it's on a completely different clock.
Completely. There's that wonderful old Arabic saying, the soul travels at the pace of a camel.
I like that.
It perfectly captures it. The news of the loss, however clear, takes months, sometimes even years, to really seep into those stubborn, resistant layers of the emotional mind. It's a slow, slow journey for that part of you.
So the denial doesn't just switch off.
No, it just slowly fades. The intensity lessens. Those sudden bursts of idealizing them or the frantic feelings of love and desperation, they become less frequent, further apart.
Until eventually some kind of truce is called.
Sort of. A quiet, maybe slightly reluctant pact gets made between the two minds. It's like a ceasefire born of necessity.
How does that work?
The logical mind, the intellectual part, realizes it can't just win by force of argument, and it's to compromise. So it kind of says to the emotional core, okay, keep believing they were perfect if you really have to.
Hold on to that idealized image.
But in the meantime, while you're doing that, could we maybe just accept a dinner invitation with someone new? Could we possibly just look at a dating app? No pressure, just look.
A distraction strategy, essentially.
It's a strategy of coexistence and distraction, yes. And that's the beginning of the slow surrender. The logical mind wins the practical battle, the battle for action in the real world.
And the emotional mind.
It eventually accepts a degree of compromise. On some deep level, maybe that primal core will always love the idealized version of that person, memory of Corfu, perhaps.
Yeah.
But crucially, the sharpness fades. Memory weakens. Those images lose their power. And more importantly, other things start to grab its attention. New experiences, new people, new interests.
Blessedly one day.
One day, it just thinks of something else entirely, for longer and longer stretches.
So wrapping this up, what's the key takeaway for someone going through this? Understanding this split isn't just about labeling grief stages, is it?
No, not at all. It's about understanding the actual neurological mechanics that make recovery feel so incredibly slow and painful sometimes.
That clash between immediate logical understanding and that deep, stubborn emotional denial. They're both part of the process. Necessary, even.
Difficult, but yes, necessary parts of this internal reconciliation. You can't really skip the emotional journey, even if the logical facts are clear.
And what about the logical mind? After going through all this, does it learn anything lasting?
Oh, absolutely. It learns caution, a profound kind of caution, perhaps. It understands, maybe for the first time, that love, while it's thrilling and vital and maybe the best thing there is,
Yes.
it also carries inherent risk. It understands that this force has the power to injure us deeply, to maul us, body and soul, like almost nothing else can.
That balance, then, between the absolute thrill and the potential for deep injury, that's the gamble we take.
It really is.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to ponder. This capacity we seem to have, this ability to effectively love forever on some deep emotional level, even when it's based on denying reality, that a profound, maybe beautiful aspect of being human, a testament to our fidelity.
Or is it just a dangerous, primitive glitch in the system, a bug that needs careful management? And what's the real cost, ultimately, of letting that primal loyalty run the show for so long?